Your Luton.
Your music.
Radio Lab 97.1 FM.
Here in the studio today we have a special guest, Chris Nicholls, the principal of Luton Sixth Form College. Hello.
Hi.
Are you glad to be here today?
I'm very glad to be here. It's an absolute privilege.
Presenting the show today is me, Ben, and
me, Andrew, too.
We're going to be interviewing the principal here. So let's start with what does principal mean? What does the role involve?
That's a very interesting question. It's kind of, being the principal means you some ways do everything and in some ways do nothing, and I'll just kind of explain what I mean by that. And if I start with the do nothing bit first, in a kind of way everybody else does all of the work. It's running the college, doing the teaching, sorting out the finance, the food, looking after the building. There's a huge amount involved. I'm sure you could work that out quite easily. So I don't do any of those things. So in that sense, I'm not doing anything. But in another sense, I'm doing everything because I'm responsible for all of those things. So I have to look around all the time. If the food's not good, if there's too much litter, if there's something not safe, if a particular lesson's taught badly, that all comes back to me. So I have to pick it up. I have to be held responsible for it. So it's quite an interesting question.
Everything and nothing makes sense. Were you ever a teacher?
Oh yes, I was a teacher for many years. Economics. I taught for 25 years.
Wow. Why the education sector? Why did you go into this field?
I did an economics degree, and then I went to Aberystwyth to do a master's degree in agricultural economics. And my thinking at the time was that I wanted to work overseas in development economics, helping out in a country that where their agriculture was a key part of their development, and I was really interested in that. But during my year in Aberystwyth, I got to do some teaching of undergraduates. I was asked to do few lessons, and I really enjoyed it. And the professor at the time then said to me, actually, you're quite good at that. Maybe you should think about becoming a teacher.
Wow.
So that was it.
Powerful story. Let's pause there for a moment. Chris will still be with us after this next song, Burn by Ellie Goulding. 97.1 FM, Radio Lab. Chris Nicholls, Luton Sixth Form Principal, is still with us. Since the recent general election, do you think there'll be any changes to the college?
I don't think there will be changes to the college because of the general election. I think the outcome of the election is probably overall slightly on the good side for us and for Luton, I would say. A kind of a landslide victory for the Conservatives probably would have resulted in the policy around selective education being pursued. I think that would have been made very clear. That might have led to somebody setting up a grammar school in Luton, for example, which would have been difficult, I think, for us, but also for schools to deal with. So I think that there are some benefits from the outcome. There's a lot of uncertainty now about what will happen with public spending. So people are saying that perhaps the end of austerity is with us. Austerity, for the benefit of anybody not clear what it means a tightening of spending on public services like health and education, and that's been going on now for about 7 years. So it's been really tough for all of the public services, health and police and roads, social services. It's been difficult for everybody to contend with. There's a suggestion that may come to an end, but there's no certainty around it, so we'll have to wait and see. Okay.
Switching to a different tone, what do you like to do outside of college? What
kind of things do I do?
Yeah,
Well, I very much enjoy playing the guitar. So I do that. Don't get to do it as much as I'd like to. I really pretty much like to play every day. I read a lot. I enjoy travelling. I like walking in the mountains. So I'm going up to the Lake District, do some walking in a couple of weeks' time, and then I'm going to Scotland a bit later on in the summer. I get to go skiing every year, so really a lot of outdoor stuff. I probably enjoy being outside and in the mountains better than anywhere else. I like theatre, movies, Netflix stuff. I guess the sort of things that a lot of people do. So yeah, don't get bored. Bit of gardening.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do skiing. What's it actually like skiing?
It's amazing, but you have to persevere with it. At first, it's like a lot of things that involve balancing. My son was trying to show me how to go on his skateboard on Saturday, and that kind of ended as you'd expect.
Yeah.
So it felt impossible, but then I thought, well, this is what skiing's like, or windsurfing. I have done a lot of windsurfing, and for the first, quite a few hours, I would say, you're just falling over all the time, hurting yourself and thinking this is impossible, and then suddenly it kind of comes together. And it's an incredible experience when you've really got it and you're zooming along at 30 to 40 mile an hour down a hill on a sunny day in the mountains with the snow. Yeah, it's hard to beat, I would say.
Breaking stereotypes that teachers don't have any lives outside college.
I'm not sure anybody really thinks that. I guess if you...
I can guarantee there are small children who believe teachers live at their schools.
That we get unplugged and we just sit in a kind of cupboard until someone comes and plugs us in again, and we go into teacher mode and start shouting at people.
And finally, would you recommend a career in education?
I really would. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic career, and I can say a bit more about why if you'd like. It's very varied. Here I am today in a radio studio. Yesterday I was doing a presentation about the Luton investment framework, which is something really exciting that's happening in Luton, which I haven't got time to talk about now. Every day I'm doing something different. But even for a teacher, and I taught for 25 years, every day is different. You're working with people. They're constantly fascinating. Young people are really rewarding to work with. They're incredibly irritating sometimes. They're lots of fun. And it is, for me, there's nothing more rewarding than seeing young people make progress coming in, say, to a college like ours at 16, kind of fresh out of school, just finding their way 2 years later, fully fledged adults ready for the wider world with a good set of qualifications. It's very, very rewarding. It's also very hard work. There's no way around that. But my philosophy in life is nothing, anything worth doing is going to be hard work.
Wow. Chris Nicholls, Principal of Luton Sixth Form, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
More music coming up on 97.1 FM. Coming up right now, One Republic with Counting Stars.
Lately I've been losing sleep.